peace and blessing of Allah be upon His servant and final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. As to what follows, my dear respected brothers in Islam, the way Allah Azza wa Jal teaches lessons in the Quran is really incredible. And it is, sometimes it's ayat in where you last expected that such a lesson would be taught. And I'll give an example on this inshallah ta'ala. This is something I was reading on to last night. Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentions in Surah Maarij, He says, يَوَدُّ الْمُجْرِمُ لَوْ يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمِئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ. We'll walk through the ayah first and then we'll see what kind of incredible lesson Allah Azza wa Jal is teaching. He said, يَوَدُّ الْمُجْرِمُ لَوْ يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمِئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ. That the mujrim basically is a criminal, and a convicted criminal, someone that has been found guilty. So Allah Azza wa Jal is saying that this mujrim on that day, although that obviously that means that Allah Azza wa Jal had judged him and he's come out and now he's guilty, he's a convicted criminal and he's going towards Jahannam, he's being driven towards Jahannam. And as he's going towards Jahannam, Allah Azza wa Jal says that this mujrim yawad, he'll wish, and he's extremely wishing this is the case, what is going to say now. And the word yawaddu comes from al-wid, and it's even more than love. This is a type of a wish, it's even more than to love something. Like when they say the name of Allah, al-wadud, meaning the extremely loving. So this mujrim, he's thinking, how am I going to, I wish the case is this. لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ ببنيه. This convicted criminal, he wishes that if he's able to be ransomed from the punishment by his children. Yaftadi, it comes from the word iftada, which means to be ransomed. Ransom, basically, that means that you exchange something, you give something up to spare and save your own life. So we have the mujrim, he is being driven to Jahannam, he's about to be thrown in Jahannam, and he's saying, Ya Allah, I'll throw my son, I'll give up my son to save myself from this fire. لَوْ يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمِئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ. He wants to be ransomed from the punishment by his bani. Then Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَصَاحِبَتِهِ. If he's giving up his son is not enough, he's also ready, وَصَاحِبَتِهِ. Sahibatihi is his partner. He's also willing to give that up just so he can save himself from Jahannam. Now Allah didn't say وَزَوْجَتِهِ, He said وَصَاحِبَتِهِ. Sahibatihi comes from the word sahib, which means a close companion. Like the Sahaba of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they're called the Sahaba because they were very close to him. So Allah Azza wa Jal refers to his wife as a sahiba to indicate to this extreme love he had for his wife. Like this wasn't zawjatihi, this was sahibati, he really loved her, and that's why he's giving up this most valuable, precious thing he had. He's saying, Ya Allah, take my children and take my wife and free me from the fire. If that still doesn't work for him, then he's willing to go on even further. لَوْ يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمِئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَأَخِيهِ. That brother of his that would take care of him, that he'd call him for support, he'd call him for help, he was born, he was raised with his brother, he's willing to give him off as well. وَأَخِيهِ. Then Allah Azza wa Jal, He goes that this mujrim is more, he'll give even more off so he can save himself from the fire. What's even more? He said, وَفَصِيلَتِهِ الَّتِي تُؤْوِيهِ. فَصِيلَتِهِ, the word fasila comes from the word fasala. Fasala means to separate something and distance it. Right, that's what fasal means. Like they say that the mafalsil are the joints, the bone where they join, because there's a separation. So fasilatihi would mean his distant family. Allati tu'wi, the distant family that would provide shelter for him. This is his cousins, his uncles, those that aren't really immediate family. He's willing to give them off as well. Ya Allah, put them in the hellfire and just save me from it. And then he says, وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. Even if that doesn't work, he's willing to say, Ya Allah, just take everyone to Jahannam and spare me away from it. Right? And Allah Azza wa Jal says, ثُمَّ يُنْجِيهِ. Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, then even if you ransom everyone on the face of the earth, it still won't be enough to be rescued from the fire. Now this is the thing in between the line. I think this will shift the whole, it'll shift the whole narrative to another story. Why didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention that this mujrim would give up his parents? The Mujrim, he didn't say وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ. Now notice this part of the ayah is similar to another part of an ayah which is in Surah Abasa, in where Allah Azza wa Jal, He says يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ. Over there, the order was reversed. So here where Allah Azza wa Jal would say that the kafir, the mujrim, he wants to ransom, he wants to free himself from the hellfire, he's willing to give his children, his wife, his brother, and his extended family, his distant family, and everyone on the earth. In Surah Abasa, Allah Azza wa Jal was speaking about someone running away. And he ran away firstly from his يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ. Firstly, he ran away from his brother, obviously because he violated his right the most. So his brother's going to come running after him for some hasanat, so he's running away firstly from him. يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ. Of course, he's running away from his parents because he violated their right, and they're coming after him, give us hasanat, because you didn't make it up for us in the worldly life. And he was running away from أُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ. The last one he was running away from was his child, because he's the less violated in rights. He gave a lot of rights to his child, that's fine. But when he wants to give up something, he'll give up his son first, obviously, because that's the most valuable thing. But still, why doesn't Allah say that this mujrim is willing to give up his parents so he can save himself from the fire? This is because if he was to say to Allah Azza wa Jal, I'll give you my parents to free myself, that would make Allah Azza wa Jal angry with him. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded you to بِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, that you be dutiful to your parents. And is this being dutiful to your parents if you want to ransom them, just to be saved from the fire? So subhanallah, even the mujrim on that day acknowledges that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had always told him to be the very good to your parents. And Allah is already angry with him, he doesn't want to upset him even more. He doesn't want to make Allah angry even more, so he doesn't even bring that to his conversation. In this ayah itself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us the dutiful and the excellence towards one's parents. This is what he's teaching in this ayah. SubhanAllah, how the ayat, very incredible the way they come and the way Allah Azza wa Jal teaches lessons in them. And so this ayah could be counted as an ayah in where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us that to be dutiful and righteous to parents is a must. Even the mujrim knows this. And he knows it when he didn't know it in this worldly life, but he'll know it over there. And this is why he doesn't want to upset Allah even further. He's going towards Jahannam. He will not mention that, Ya Allah, I'll give my parents, I'll throw my parents in the hellfire and I'll save myself, because that is not ihsan bil walidain. That is not something Allah Azza wa Jal commanded the human being to do. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us an appreciation of His word and to give us an appreciation of our parents. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us people of the Quran, people who benefit from the reminders of the Quran. إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.